Hello, welcome to Yogstalk English. Thank you so much for supporting my videos. If you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe, and if you give me a like, this video will reach a lot many people. And don't forget to share if you like this video. I've been receiving a couple of comments about the real ID that is going to start from May 7th. Apparently, that everybody has to use a real ID or not, and how to get it, and what is the difference between a normal ID and a real ID. We're going to discuss in this video. So first of all, the real ID issue is started in 2005. Since then, it was not taken seriously and not 100% agreed to use it in between the governments, in between the states. So they were planning it, but it didn't go well for some reason. The reason to start this real ID is after the 9/11 attacks, government started thinking about it to introduce a particular ID so that they have a valid checks on a particular person, that this person is safe to live in the United States. That is the reason they have implemented this, so that they have scrutinized and checked everything, and they don't have any issues with this person. So that is the reason real ID is introduced. But since then, to 2005, it was not really used. But now it is mandatory from May 7th. They desperately wanted to use this. So real ID means you have one ID across the nation. Generally, you will have a state ID, and your driving license, state to state, is a difference. Same like in India, like we have one driving license for Tamil Nadu, one driving license for Uttar Pradesh, one driving, like, state to state we have a different. But this driving license is allowed to drive in any other states, but however, that if identity purpose, we have to change the driving license. Because that address is in a different state, you are living in a different state. Same in America as well. But in America, you can use your driving license for a short trip if you are going to any other state, like 1 week trip or a 10 days trip or a company meetings or a school meetings or anything like that. But if you permanently move to another state, obviously you will have to change your driving license and your driving license address. Make sure that is compliance with that particular state. So now this real ID, the difference between this actual driving license and the real ID driving license is, you will see a star on top of the real ID. Where do you get this? You get this from the Department of Driving Department, generally, where you will obtain your driving license, the same department, DMV. So you go there and you apply for it. What documents you need to apply for it is, basically you need your valid visa copy, like if you are an F1, I-20, or if you are an H1, I-797 and I-94 of your document. I-94 is basically, once you landed in an airport, they will give the I-94, right? So that is also a legal status of your stay in United States. So I-94, and as address proof, you must have an address proof, like in a utility bill or any other address proof, and then your passport. Sometimes this is the big question mark, that your passport have a visa to stay in United States. But what happens is, if you are in a H1 status, your visa is expired, though you are living in the United States without a legal visa, because your legal status is your I-797 and I-94, but your passport is expired. They will allow you to stay. You need a passport to travel back and come back. In that situations, if you use your passport to get this real ID, I don't know whether really you can get it or not. That is one thing that you have to get clarified. I was trying to get this information, but I could not find anywhere proper information. Who needs this real ID? To travel in a domestic airlines from one state to another state, generally you must need this real ID from 7th May 2025. So, and any other federal government offices, if you want to get an access, or if you are working in the federal government access, you must need a real ID. Or any other defense related offices, or if you are working on a defense systems, you must need a real ID. So what happens if you don't have one? You are allowed to carry your passport if it is your US passport, or you have any other passport. Let's say you are on a green card, for example, you will have your Indian passport. So you must carry Indian passport or your US passport. But one thing we have to think about it, if you are carrying an Indian passport, if the stamp is expired, this is especially for H1, F1, L1, there are so many visas, right? If your stamp is expired, right? So that is allowed to carry between domestic flights or not. I'm not 100% sure. You have to check that. If that is the case, then you will have to go and grab one real ID anyway, because you cannot keep taking the passport for everywhere wherever you go. In case if you lose the passport, that's your identity document, then again you have to make a police complaint, and then you have to reapply another passport. This is a bit of a headache to carry passport at all times, whereas the driving license or ID is a bit better to carry. In case if anybody stop and check, you can easily show them that your driving license, or at least you can have a soft copy in your hand, in your phone as well. So you must get this real ID before 7. If you don't get real ID, if you can't get it for any reason, you can carry your passport. That's an alternative to the real ID. You have to carry your American passport at all times when you are traveling between the states, or you are attending the federal offices, or you're going for any defense related offices. Okay, this is what I just want to share in this video. If you like this video, please kindly share, like, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.